say, intelligence, expertise.
What other doors could they close?
Hey, how much am I willing to give up and commit, and are not committed to the struggle? Acquiescing to the struggle, they're committed.
Careful who you leave toeless.
Good morning, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace here, dropping in on you. I hope that you have gotten your day off to a good start. I hope that your week is off to a good start. I hope that you started your day, most importantly, with a heart of gratitude. I cannot express to you how important that is on a number of different levels. And I'm not just talking about how it makes you feel. Yeah, you want to feel good. You don't want that negative feeling that comes with worry, stress, anxiety, anger, bitterness, jealousy, and all of that. You don't want that, because the energy that that produces will literally make you sick. You don't want that, but it's so much more important than that. And so I want to talk to you about that today. I'm not going to take a whole lot of time because I have a client at 8:30. So I'm going to do the fast intro. If you want to start the 60-day holistic health and fitness challenge, jump on it. If you want either of the last two books, which are the 20th and 21st books in the work that I've published as books, as well as they're the first two books in a 6-book series. Those links are in there. If you want to work with me, there's a way to get in touch with my support team to set up work, and I have several spots that I'm holding open for the holidays. Jump in and grab them. Yes, please be aware that I do charge, and I'm not cheap, but I am good. So I'm going to leave that, and you can do what you feel you need to do. But it's time for change, and change comes at a price. And I'm not just talking about money. We have to invest in ourselves. We have to be committed to being better. And so let me tell you what today's Mindful Tuesday is about. It's about the destructive force of jealousy and envy, specifically, but the destructive force of negative ideas, thoughts, and emotions, and how they impact us. Of course, you have heard me talk numerous times about the importance of having a positive mindset, about starting your day off in the right state of mind, what I call priming in the morning, where you get up and you literally set your state. You don't allow circumstances and situations to set your state. So I'm real big on protecting and reserving personal sovereignty. And one of the biggest ways we give up our personal sovereignty is by grabbing devices first thing in the morning. We allow the devices, the tablets, the phones, to determine what stimuli will instigate or initiate our thought processes. I choose to wake up, and for the first hour of the day, I don't open my phone. So for the first hour of the day, I am in control. Number one, nobody's up with me. During school days, you know, the kids get off early as crap to school, so they're up when I first get started, but get them off about 4:30 or 5 o'clock every morning, get them out 5:30. And then it's just me for an hour. I have to get the next kid up at 6:30 and get them out. But I'm up. And for that hour, it's just me. And so nobody is introducing or interjecting anything that, you know, could be negative, because nobody's around. So it's me. I get to choose how I'm going to think. So I start the day off with gratitude. I start the day off with, okay, what do I have to be thankful for? And what this does is stop you from doing what we tend to do habitually. And that's to start focusing on what's wrong. We wake up in the morning, first thing going on, oh my God, this is going on. Oh my God, that's going on. Oh my God. I hope Bob calls and Todd calls, or whatever, about this deal. You know, I hope, man, you know, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I hope this goes through. I hope I get a call for this. I hope this, I hope that, you know, I gotta go do this. And what if this happens? What if that happens? Oh man, car's been acting funny, blah, blah, blah. I mean, straight out of the bed, you're stressing. You got all kind of hormones that are being generated because of the stresses. Cortisol is starting to flow in the bloodstream. You literally got a stress response right out of the bed. And not only is that physically harmful, it does something to your thought processes and your expectations. Remember, I've told you so many times, what you focus on is what you're going to feel and experience the most. So if you're focusing on the negative, you're going to feel and experience the negative the most. It doesn't mean that not focusing on the negative means the negative disappears. It means that it gives you more energy and positivity when you focus on the things that are right. When you change your expectations, you change the course of your life, and you change the energy that you're generating. And you have to remember that energy is resonant. What does that mean? Energy, it being resonant means that energy, like energy, resonates with like energy. So you can't be in a negative mindset and attract positive things. It doesn't work that way. In order to consistently experience the positive, you have to consistently be in a state of positivity. Why? Because energy resonates. And when you're resonating in places of envy, jealousy, and so many other things, you are now putting yourself in a situation where you are at 250 hertz or lower, when everything you really want in life is at 500 hertz or higher. And there's no way that's happening on a consistent basis. It will permeate your marriage. It will permeate your relationships with your family members. It will permeate your career and your workplace. You will find yourself being miserable and not really understand why. It's because what you focus on in the morning sets the course of your day. It is your responsibility every day to wake up and win the first hour. And one of the ways you win the first hour is you choose your battles. One of the ways that you win the first hour of your day is you choose your battle. You choose where you're going to stand and fight, how you're going to fight, what you're going to fight, what it's going to be about. I choose not to wage war on anything that has a chance to knock me off kill. Everything that I've got to go out, there are going to be challenges every day. That's life, especially when you're striving for something beyond mediocre. When you're striving for something beyond average, there are going to be challenges every day. You pick and choose when you go into that, and you go into it with the right mindset. If you go into the challenge with a mindset of a winner, you're going to win more than you lose. But if you go into the challenge with the mindset of a loser, you're going to lose almost all of them. Okay, but here's where it gets crazy. That's what happens on the physical side. That's what happens on the spiritual side. And so, but guess what? I read a study. I came across a study. I haven't read the entire thing. I came across a study, and here's the gist of it. That jealousy and envy, being envious or jealous of your digital friends, meaning that most of them aren't really your friends anyway, but your friends on social media, and a specific area was Facebook, that it literally leads to depression. And what bothers me and gets me about this is that we have a tendency to take things that could be used for our advancement, that could be used for our empowerment, that could be used for our elevation, and we use them to destroy ourselves. See, social media, the internet, and digital technology and communications on multiple levels is neither good or bad. The goodness or the destructiveness of it in any sector, whether social media, whether whether news media, whether entertainment media, whatever, is going to be determined by what you do with it. If all you do on social media is track what everybody else is doing with their lives, there's a pretty good chance you're going to come across people who are doing better than you. And if you are not living your life at the level of your design, if you're not living your life based off of the desires and the expectations and the standards that you set, there's going to be a natural tendency to be envious. There's going to be a natural tendency to look at it and not be happy for the people who you have classified as friends, whether you really know them or not. And we now know that it literally leads to clinical depression. I don't mean feeling down and sad a couple of days. I mean literally being in a state of depression. Why? Because you are now living your life in measurement of someone else's life who's living their life on social media. Now, again, if they were actually living everything that they say they were living, that's their work, that's their commitment, that's what they're up to, that's what they're doing. And if you really are truly in the right frame of mind and state of mind, then you would be happy for them. But what you have to keep in mind is social media allows us to live our best lives not living. What do I mean by that? I can say I'm anything. I can say I'm doing anything. I can say I am anything. And there's a place for that. There's a place where I declare things that are not yet in the third dimension. And I declare them as present, but I don't present them to people as where I'm at right now. That's who I am to me, because that's where I'm going. That's the reality I established. That's how I've accomplished all that I've ever accomplished in my life. That's why if I die today, I die having done more than 98% of the people in this world will ever do. That's why. Because I will not live in the past. I will not sulk in my failures. I will not live according to my current temporary circumstances and situations. I will declare and I will live. I will declare and I will live. And that's how I gain ground. That's how I move. That's how I've gotten from where I was in 2012 to where I am right now. That's how I will be where I will be in 2020. It is declaring. However, I'm not going to present that as my lifestyle to people out here. I want people, if anything, to see that where I'm going came with struggle, that what I've accomplished came with struggle. Why? I don't want you to get the idea that winning comes without challenge, because it does not. Matter of fact, you can't grow without challenge. You can't grow without opposition. You can't grow without setbacks. You can't grow without failures. You're going to fail. One of the most frustrating things that was presented to me, that it took some time for me to overcome, was one of the things my coach told me growing up. It was like, failure is not an option. Well, failure is inevitable. So when you say failure is not an option, it put me in this place where it made it hard for me to deal when things didn't go the way I wanted them to go, because I didn't know how to define it, because failure is not an option. Well, see, failure is not final either. See, failure is inevitable, but failure is not final. Now, we don't classify the micro failures as true failures. We classify them as learning experiences. We classify ultimate failure as quitting. If you don't quit, you haven't failed. You just haven't succeeded yet. And that's the difference. So I had to learn that, though, because I had in my mindset, failure is not an option. Well, you're going to fail in a micro sense. You're going to have times that you don't hit the mark. You're going to have times that you are completely off. You're going to have times that you get your butt handed to you. That's life. What are you going to do? You're going to sit down, sulk, and whine and complain, or you're going to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and say, let's go get it again. You're going to keep going until you figure it out. Those are the ones who win. Those who get up in the morning and decide that they're going to go out and find the opportunity that they need are the ones who get on in life. When they can't find the opportunity, they create it. Those are the ones that get on in life. Those who sit up and whine don't get on. Those who complain don't get on. Those who sit up and sulk and get upset and jealous of what everybody else is doing don't get on. It is the ones who sit up and decide, you know what? This isn't what I want, so I'm going to go out and get it. I know it's not going to be easy. I know it's not going to happen overnight, but I'm going to go out and get it. I refuse to sit here and be a victim all of my life. I refuse to sit here and be pushed around by life and circumstances and situations all of my life. I refuse to let other people dictate and determine and define who I am in my life. I am today going to get up and I'm going to move forward. I am today going to decide to be different. I am today going to take the responsibility of choosing those who will exist in my periphery so that I have the support team and the resources that I need to rise. I will not accept defeat. How you move out, People are literally in a state of depression, according to this study, because they are envious of people that they are connected to on social media. That's disturbing on so many levels, but it's so real. Now, here's what I can tell you about the digital world, social media, and everything else out there that can be done. You know, I can't even rattle off all of the different sites I have that represent all the different endeavors that I have going on. It's because I understand the importance of leveraging digital media on multiple levels. Can't tell you how many pages I have on Facebook alone. Then we've got YouTube, then we got Twitter, then we got all this, then we got the websites for each of the entities, all this stuff. And they all produce at some point, at some level for what we're trying to accomplish. You have to have an understanding of what you're at. Social media is not a playground for me. You know, I have my moments of fun. I laugh, I share memes, I do everything. But if you watch and you look at my page, it's about presenting who I am and sharing who I am. A lot of times it's about putting out free content so that will bless people that can't afford my services. And there's an energy that comes with that. Everything is done with thought in mind. It's not just out there throwing things around. If you look at what I post on any page, it's a representation of who I am, what I stand for, how I operate. If you look and you study me long enough, you'll know what it's like to work with me. I give more than I demand. Yes, I give more. Something my grandfather told me a long time ago, and you've heard me say this if you follow me anytime, son, you've got to fill your space. Matter of fact, on one of my vision boards every morning, one of my vision boards is the priority board. At the top of the priority board is my wife and how I have to love her. What are my responsibilities and love her? And I have them listed out: honor, provide, protect, encourage, support, nurture, teach, cherish. Then the kids, my health, generational wealth, empowering my people, and lastly, filling my space. Something my grandfather taught me. Son, you got to fill your space. You got to fill. And I ask him what that is. Say, always leave a place with more than you came and took away. Always walk into a room and leave people in a better situation and frame of mind than when you walked in. Fill your space. So what I do is I make sure I bring more than I take away. That's my person. If I walk into a room, I'm going to leave the positive energy. If I ask you to pay me for my work, I promise you, you're going to leave with more than what you spent. Far more. If you pay me for 12 sessions, you're almost guaranteed to get 13 or 14, at least 13 and sometimes 14 with no extra charge. I do all my crisis sessions for my clients at no extra charge. When my clients need me and it's not their day to see me, they call me, no extra charge. I give more than I ask for or take. But what I want to leave you with, because I got to get off. I've got 5 minutes to get to my client. Here's what we've got to do. We have to understand that if you don't learn social media, if you don't learn how to use social media, if you don't learn how to leverage it for the things you want, it's going to be a rough ride the next 5 or 10 years, because outside of the medical industry, things are shifting hectically, medical and technical. Do you realize that on YouTube, the highest earners, and I mean millions of dollars a year, are gamers? You know who the next are? Little kids who are reviewing products. That's a little kid. He ought to be about 8 now. He was 6 the first time I came across him. At 6, he was earning $11 million a year, simply reviewing toys. There's another little kid that does 4-minute skits, little black kid, a couple of million a year. Simply tapping into something you're good at that you love doing and then leveraging it instead of complaining about it. Yes, social media can be very destructive. Social media can just tear you down, destroy you. Social media can rob you of time. Social media can have you viewing life through a distorted lens. Or social media can be one of the most powerful tools that you have at your disposal. That's a choice you make by how you use it. I'll be honest with you. I love interacting with people, but I do it for a living, so I do it a lot. I love my quiet time. I love my space to myself. I love spending time with my beautiful wife and my wonderful children. That's what I love. Everything else I do because I'm good at it, I'm gifted at it, and it serves a purpose. I don't have to be patted on the back. I don't need a bunch of likes to feel good about myself. I don't need people telling me how awesome I am to feel good about myself. I can pat myself on the back. I have no problem with that. I'm not one of those people that believe that celebrating who you are and standing and speaking in the power of what you are and gifted to do is being haughty or arrogant. The reason we fail so much now is we'll let anybody else tell us who we are except ourselves. I will never be that person. Some people will love it, some people won't, and I'm good with that. Nothing to argue about, nothing to debate. You do you, I'm gonna do me. But you're gonna have to learn how to evolve with the times. We're no longer in, though all my marketing people out there can attest to this. The way we did marketing 20 years ago is not the way we do marketing now. I mean, the marketing industry completely has flipped upside down. And those who didn't keep up lost. Some of them are no longer around because they didn't catch on. You're gonna have to learn. Use social media to your advantage. Use social media instead of telling your sad stories, complaining about your boss. That's another thing that leads to depression. Complaining about your boss and your coworkers, complaining about your job, complaining, envy, jealousy, all has been proven to lead to clinical depression. Stop using social media to complain about your boss. Start using social media to create your own platform. Oh no, it's not going to be easy. You're not going to go out there. Every now and then somebody hits the payload right out the box and becomes a 6-figure, 7-figure earner right out the box. That's not what you're going to do. What you're going to do is you're going to sit up and you're going to establish yourself. You're going to establish something. One of the people that there are a bunch of people that are part of my group that I keep as a part of my group online. Some I've known since way, way back. Some I've just come to know over the last several years. But these are people who know how to use social media to their advantage. Yeah, you're going to get caught up in some of the social things that are going on. You're going to have some opinions about things, but never lose sight of what it is you're doing. You're in control of that. And with that being said, I've got to get out of here. Man, it's crazy. It's time for me to get out. But look, if you want to work with me, the information's in the description box. If you want to get Critical Mass or I Am, the last 2 books, 20 and 21, the first 2 books of a 6-book series, the link's in there. Go get it. I promise you won't be disappointed, but I've got to get out of here. Hopefully I'll be back later. Share the link with your friends. Go back, watch this again. Get the points you need. Take one thing from it, apply it to your life, and keep applying it for 30 days until you make it a habit. That's how change takes place. On that note, I'm out of here.
from a conceptual perspective, do things. People talk about a desire to be successful. All of the elements they think: intelligence, expertise.
What other doors could they close?
Hey, how much am I willing to give up and commitment, and are not committed to the struggle, acquiescing to the struggle? They're committed